All right. Welcome in, welcome in. This is 100% organic, freshly squeezed game dev coming to you live from Gold Coast, Australia. My name is Isaac from Chaff Games, and I'm here to make it a game. We are working on a Metroidvania. We have been for the last 7 or 8 months. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're here. Hype if you're on mobile. Today, we are live again. Yes, we are. As we work through our Metroidvania, we are incredibly close to having a working project. So we have got pretty much everything in place. I've been saying that for like at least 3 months. Everything is in place. We just got to polish it before we put out the demo. Now, the demo is not going to be like a Steam demo. It's going to be like an itch demo just to gauge entertainment, feedback, all that kind of stuff before we go for a more like aggressive demo. But I do want it to look professional because I don't want the feedback to be like, well, there needs to be more animations or something like that. That would be annoying. But as it is now, seemingly going to be the tradition. How many years have been in dev of this game specifically? We've been doing it for 8 months. So this is a relatively new project. I'm starting to work on the music, which has been pretty fun to transition back into that after working on music for such a long time in the past. So it's kind of fun. I've been getting back into the habit. I think one of the things that really when it comes to creativity and making music, can we see the gameplay? Of course, we're about to. Let's run it. I might as well show you from here. I've been working on a new track for the encounters. So something that's very common in Metroidvanias is like you have these encounters, these gauntlets, where you have to fight like a bunch of enemies. And we've had ours in place for a while now, but I wanted to create music that was more upbeat and my own. It's not like some random stuff that I downloaded from itch. So we've got that now. I don't know. I'm trying to work out like what's playing in the background, but I can't. Hang on. Let me switch to the original overlay because I am a little bit test chamber. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, we'll go with that and we'll just stretch that out. Okay. So that's what I'm used to seeing. I'm very confused. I'm like, is music playing? Music is playing. Let's not pause or remove that. Production. Okay, here we go. We'll take that music. So I want you guys to listen to the music for the gauntlet. I think we still need to work on it. I've got that ready to go in the background. But if I run this, we'll be right outside the room. I don't know what the levels will be like. Let me know. Because I try to keep them lower when I'm working on the game because it can be kind of annoying to get repetitive music going. I wonder what programs you use for making music. I use Reaper. It's right here. It's probably something that I try to use open source software, but if we're talking about music, I am very experienced with Reaper. I've been using it for over 10 years, so I prefer to use that. I do need to buy a new license though. So this is like the ambient sound for the first level. Franchiso Live, welcome. It's just very basic, kind of like you're in a mysterious place. Obviously, we don't have like a background, but it's meant to be an abandoned facility. Okay, so this is when we go into the gauntlet, we get a change in scene, so you know something's about to happen. And when you hit this, the music transitions. But it's a bit quiet. Yeah, it's super low. I'm looking at the levels. Yeah, I think I need to bump up the volume on this one. It's very new. We've only been working on it for a couple of weeks. I mean, not a couple of weeks, a couple of days. I died. And so the levels are all broken up. Okay, Nighttime Graphs, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Sedit, Mbin. Okay, so this is the song here. It's gonna be a lot louder. We are working on music. So I've got two stages of the song basically. There's a verse and a build-up, essentially. So we've got this bit here. Does that sound... No, it sounds right. But... And that's fine for a... It's fine for... What's it called? So it builds up to that, and it's very like rhythmic, right? Because you're meant to be fighting a battle, right? So it starts off kind of slow. So the thing I'm thinking is I need to like learn how to break this stuff up, because I want, say if this goes for a long time, I want this bit here to just play at the start, because it's kind of slow and it really starts to break it in, because it's meant to be like something is about to happen, right? You just got locked in a room with some enemies. So it's just like this feedback. You know? We only want this to play once. So if you actually end up at the end of the track, you don't end up hearing this again. And you just come back to this bit here. And then we've got the other bit here, which is like the full build up, which is like more chorusy, right? But we need a way to transition between the two. So we've got this bit that transitions the... That was a big piece of text. So it would be cool if you go into an arena type like you showed us, the music goes quiet and then boom, hype music starts playing. Yes, that's kind of what we're trying to go for here. But I think this build up, number one, might be a bit too long. I've still got my old head on. I'm not thinking in terms of games. So it needs to be like just this bit. You know, that's 5 seconds right there. That's enough time. And then we could probably skip straight to this, rather than having this other bit build up here. Depends on what you're going for, I guess, because that's an entire build up. It's quite long. We're talking like 10 seconds of just build up there, which you can actually beat the entire gauntlet if you know what you're doing before this even makes it to the chorus. So the one thing I wanted to do is work out how to transition back. So we've got this bit that goes from and to, right? So let's just play it from here. And it basically, there's a drum build up and you go into this. I think it might have some like strangeness because I'm recording at the same time. I don't know. I don't know if it sounds weird on your end, but there's definitely some crunchiness I'm not used to hearing. But yeah, so like, how do we go from that back to this? Because it is a possibility, and I want it to say, like, basically I want to set it up so like we've got a recording of this bit, plays at start, and then there's a loop, which is like this, plus a little end bit that ties you back to the start. And it's probably going to be a variation of some bits of this, or potentially even some bits of this, or even... It sounds like it's tearing up a bit because of the recording or something. Yeah, I think it is something like that. I'm not really sure. We did it on last stream and didn't have issues, but I'll be honest, this is only the second time that I've used music production tools on stream, so I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, there's something weird there. What if I restart this? We'll give it a go. Can't restart the streaming software, so we'll start with that. I gotta buy another license. No, there's some crunch there. We might have to abandon ship because I don't want to listen to that. I find it annoying myself. Piracy! No, not really. They just never... Reaper's really good in that regard. They don't necessarily... so they have like a 30-day trial, but then if they just let you keep using the software and there's no like stop. Now, I bought a license a very long time ago, and when they upgraded to version 7, they asked everyone to rebuy a license. Now, I like this software specifically. Like, I'm a big supporter of open source software, but Reaper is good because it's kind of like the old days, right? You just buy a license one time, and they didn't even ask for, it's only $60. It's super cheap. So like, I've just been, what's it called? Dawdling. I haven't really been like, I need to buy a license since they released 7. I think it was at the release of 7, they were like, hey, buy another license, please, which I think is fair. Like, and it's like, you know, it's the old school way of doing software where they just ask you to buy it one time. $60 for a non-commercial license. I don't need a commercial license because I don't think I make enough money. I don't remember exactly how their licensing works, but I don't think I qualify for needing to pay for a commercial license. Yeah, I guess even for me, 60 USD is like more than, but like, yeah, it depends where you're from. Seems steep for non-commercial. $60, yeah, I don't know. I guess, yeah, I'd have to look into it. But I have been dragging my feet. Where am I looking for? I'm looking for output device. So we're using WASB. We don't want to use, I think Wasabi is like shared mode, exclusive mode, shared loopback. So you do want to do shared mode because basically how this works is something that like once upon a time wasn't really possible. Like I remember looking into it in 2017 and it was kind of annoying, but I'm guessing, I don't know, there's something output thread priority. Maybe if we change it to normal, I might break audio. We'll find out. It's like ASIO default MCCS. Maybe we change it to time critical. Nah, it's still crunchy. I think we abandoned ship. We'll come back to that. Because there's something weird in the background there. No more money, that game is dumb and old, yeah. Do you want to tell me to look for in case you're going to pirate software? Everyone is supporting piracy because of the industry. If buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing. I agree. But I also think like this is a reasonably good piece of software that is worth. Maybe if I change it to M audio. Nah, don't know. Save project, yes. Anyway, we won't do that, but instead we do need to look at how the audio is even sent off to the game manager. This is something that I've been thinking about pretty much since I started looking into this at the start of the week on Sunday. If you missed last Sunday stream, we started sort of putting together this, and we were also looking at particles, and we'll go back to that as well because I found some pretty funny stuff with that. Did I see the Xbox layoffs? I did. Speaking of crazy companies, well, that was YouTube. Where's Twitch? Sorry, I'm looking for my chat, so I'm trying to get them all in the right spot. Wait, what the heck did that one go? Okay, stop. Why is it doing that? There we go. Got it in the right spot. Okay, so Xbox layoffs. They're pretty bad. I admire that you managed to find time to work on the game. Since most 9-to-5 people slowly settle into their routine, they become easy to find excuses. Yeah, I mean, I would say for the first probably 5 years. I mean, to be fair, okay, so here's something that I like think about. I do think about that, right? Like, oh, you know, I remember when I was a kid, like my parents just like when they came home from work, I mean, not that there's anything wrong, to be honest, there's nothing wrong with coming home from work and then just like having dinner and watching TV or chilling out. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that if that's what you enjoy. But for me, like once I started my full-time job, wait, hang on, I'm getting distracted. I was doing my master's degree while I was working. So I was always doing something after work anyway. And then when I finished that, I was like, shit, you know, what do I do? And I started making music, and I was doing that for a while, like until 2018. And then I switched to game development. I started learning how to do that, and I haven't stopped, basically. And so like, instead of like watching TV, I'm doing something else. But like either way for me, it's like a bit of fun. It becomes too hard. I did 9 to 5 internship in a car company. And then when I came back, I was dead tired. I was 19 at that time. Yeah. So like, I totally understand. I don't have like a physical labor job. So it's a bit different. You know, I can spare the capacity. I'm not tired physically. Sometimes I'm just tired mentally. Okay, so I wanted to look at Xbox layoffs. Yeah, because this is crazy, and we should talk about this. Xbox layoffs. I wanted to see the tweet from the lady. I know she put out a thing. Has anyone got the tweet? Xbox. Reportedly, roughly 50% of the team at ID Software. Dude, that's crazy. Dude, what the heck? I can't find it. Okay, here we go. Found it. Okay, so Ash Shah, I don't know how to pronounce her name. I apologize if I get that wrong. Asha Shah basically sent out an email. This was what, a big long email, but it was just the other day, like maybe a day and a half ago, where they essentially said that they are reducing their team by approximately 3,200 over the next 12 months, which is crazy. So this will include approximately 1,600 role eliminations today. And in addition, 4 studios will leave Xbox to new management. So they're selling off their IP. He worked in IT, and I mean, mentally tired. Being physically tired doesn't make you not want to do something. Yeah, I mean, everybody's different, I guess. You can't judge someone because of that, I think. But yeah, I totally understand though. So yeah, they've fired 1,600 people. 4 studios are breaking off from Xbox. And I guess like it's kind of interesting because for the longest time, Xbox or Microsoft was just buying up all the gaming IP that ever existed. You know what I mean? And I see this a lot. So I work in finance, and one of the main ways that I've seen companies expand their revenue. So if you don't know, for a lot of listed companies, they have like, a lot of these executives have revenue targets, they have profit, like they have incentives basically that they want to meet to get their share bonuses, right? And one of the ways that they increase their revenue because very often it's a revenue target, one of the ways that you can do that very easily and in very low risk is by buying up other companies. I never understood why they had to write a big tweet for layoffs. I mean, keep quiet about it. You're obviously going to get hate. It boosts share price, which is another incentive. So the thing is, with the way that finance works, when you buy a company, you get all of their revenue, but the actual cost of purchasing that company isn't counted as an expense. You know what I mean? Because it's technically an asset. So you can grow your company's revenue by expanding your holdings. Like you just invest in other companies, buy up other IP, you buy up all the studios, you get the revenue from all their sales, from all their games added to your revenue. But, one of the things that does come with that is a large amount of labor, and you get all these employees that you didn't always have. And one of the biggest costs in a business is obviously payroll. And so, and I've been a part of this. What if GWiz bought Chaff Games? I mean, you can if you want. Throw me. I'll sell you my channel for $1 million. But then you would have 2 channels, and you would be able to say, you could add all my views to your views, and you could be like, this year, GWiz grew by, I don't actually get that many views, 50,000 views per month. I pray that the people that $3, $3.50. So, it's just one of those things that comes with the territory. I've actually been a part of this in my work as a finance professional, where you take over another company, you take all the assets from them, you piece it up, and you create a new subsection within your own business from their assets, and you essentially lay off the people you don't need, because you can do the same amount of work by taking existing professional people, like taking people from on your team and putting them towards, or partially putting them towards, this new staff, and get rid of the excess, basically. So if you have spare capacity, it's a way that you can grow your revenue or profit without having to create a new product or take any risks, right? Because you're taking up existing IP, you're not having to like take a risk on a new game or anything like that, or a new product in this case. So it's pretty common. But they're saying now that it's not possible to maintain it. So where do they go? I know it's painful. These changes will direct and affect people who have poured their creativity into building Xbox. I mean, I don't think many of these people probably think about themselves as Xbox employees. I don't know. But many joined us through acquisitions. Yeah. While others were recruited here or sought us out because they loved this industry and loved Xbox. Today's decisions do not reflect the talent or dedication. Our business today is not healthy. And this is what they go on to say. IPO stock ticker Chaff appears. Yeah, I wonder. I think you need to have like a certain level of revenue for that to be possible. I actually don't know. It's one of those things that I've actively avoided in my career, is to do with anything with the listing or the shares. For your game to find help, why don't you just get interns? You don't have to pay them. I don't know if that's legal in Australia, but I think you have to. We have pretty strong, what do you call it, labor laws. So that might not be possible. Plus, I wouldn't want to take advantage of people like that anyway. I like to do it mostly on my own. It's just for fun for me. So international, that's even harder. We are operating at margins 3 to 10 times lower. Okay, so I just want to focus on this. So business, when I got lost, we entered Gen 9 with a smaller install base and a higher cost structure. To grow, we bet on Game Pass, multi-platform, and a broader portfolio of content. While those businesses have created meaningful value, they did not grow at the pace we expected. As that happens, because most of the time when you're making decisions like this, and maybe this is my just personal bias as someone that comes from the other side of the industry, where I'm like cynically looking at every decision that a business makes, because that's my job, where a lot of these decisions are sort of like short-term based. So they're focusing a lot on trying to grow their revenue in that year, to grow their, their, what do they call it? Equity within that year. So a lot of this stuff, they're not thinking long-term. While those businesses have created meaningful value, they did not grow at the pace that we expected. As that happened, our core businesses weakened. We added more teams, more investment, more time, hoping for a better income. And now the industry is facing the most severe hardware crisis in history. We must reset the Xbox. So Xbox has a red ring of death, and they're just, taking the box back for repairs, basically. My old startup boss did that. I left the team because of that issue. Pay your interns. Yeah, that's crazy. Another really dodgy freelance position. I saw disabled kids working on stuff for tax credits. Dude, that's stop. But I guess, yeah. So they want to reset their portfolio. But yeah, I mean, I think like it's kind of obvious to me that a plan like that, where you just buy up everything, you're just basically scooping up everything you can in your vicinity, isn't going to work long term, and it's not a sustainable business practice, because you're just buying up all these businesses that may or may not have been profitable to begin with. You're taking up a lot of IP and a lot of like payroll just for what? So now you could own, I don't know, whatever games you own now. They don't even own Halo. What is a tax credit? So sometimes when you spend money as a business, you can get additional tax credits for spending money on certain kinds of things. We now find ourselves competing not only with the largest, I thought this was interesting. We find ourselves competing not only with the largest publishers, but also with smaller independent studios. So because of how much they bought up, they were not only making AAA games, but also like AA and maybe even single A games. You'd always be surprised with who is like owned by Xbox. It's neither possible to nor desirable to own every great independent studio. Why? Yeah, well, I just explained to you why they would do that. But like, other than that, why would you even want to? We have also learned that we are not the best home for every type of studio. In a typical year, we lost 64 cents for every dollar we invested. As we reset Xbox, we will help independent creators succeed by providing open development tools and audiences to realize their vision. Compulsion Games, Double Fine Productions will return management and transition to independent studios with their IP. So I don't know how this is supposed to work. If they are selling back those studios to the respective owners, like if they bought out, I don't know. Like maybe it was some kind of agreement. Like they didn't have like a long-term thing. I actually don't know. I'd be really curious to see how that's working. Ninja Theory, Undead Labs have entered terms to join new ownership with funding. I think they sold them off then. Yeah, based on that. With funding to complete, and grow Senua and State of Decay 3. In France, Arcane's management is beginning required consultation with its work council to review potential strategic options. I'm very interested in Arcane. Arcane makes Prey, I'm pretty sure. Prey 2017. I'd love to see them like become independent again. They've made some really good games. And Xbox bought them up and cancelled everything just because they wanted to own their IP, I guess. So, man, this is really long. We are making reductions across other units and in some cases shifting investment to focus on higher priority projects. You should see Parasite. It's a decent anime if you find the time. Parasite, is that the one where the guy has like a bug in his arm and it like is like the aliens are coming to basically take over the world, but his is like okay, but it's still kind of evil? Yeah, I watched that. I don't know if I ever finished it. It was a very long time ago, back when it was first airing. I got up to the part where his family was killed, and then I didn't keep watching because I think it was like, you know, there was a gap in release, and I forgot about it, and now it's been too long. I should come back to it. It's really good. None of our first-party publicly announced games or projects are being cancelled. Of course, because you can't sell them off to anyone. In addition, Mojang King now report directly to me. Okay. Can we see your game, please? Yes, let's play the game. Okay. Wait, no, I want to hang on. I want to finish this so that I can have just like, I don't have to fish for clips. These two studios have increasingly become platforms. Our largest by monthly active players. They bring in critical geographic, demographic, and differentiation to Xbox. So secondly, they're going to reset their platform. We know that great technology gets better when it gets simpler, not bigger. Today, in some parts of the economy, work passes through as many as 14 layers of management. Our platform teams are 40%. Okay, so they just got like bloat, basically, because everyone's trying to justify their positions within the company. Even our player base and playtime have declined. Yeah, because your games are shit. They only focus on making like software as a service. I don't know. Like, people are only making decisions like in these big companies that are a sure bet, and that's just not good for players. So no one wants to play your games. It's not that surprising. Blurred accountability made it harder to deliver for players, and as we reset. Financial downturn incoming. Yeah, I think probably this may be a recession indicator. I hope we all have good jobs. We will reduce management layers to no more than 5 and where possible 3. A lot of this stuff I find when people say this, I've been a part of companies that have said this, it's all bullshit. It's really hard to change this kind of stuff, but we'll see. We'll just deliver. Well, they are firing a lot of people, so maybe it will be possible. We will deliver success through a flatter organization that's built around makers. Leaders who remain deeply involved by developing their teams and directly responsible individuals who own key decisions and outcomes will reset the streamline and how we work across our tools with a cleaner code base and shared services. We are resetting how we operate. As Xbox grew our headcount, we became more fragmented. Teams, studios, and functions often operate independently, and it became harder to work. Okay, so they're saying they're too spread out, I think. From that, for our first time, we established a chief operating officer with end-to-end in a multi-million-dollar game company. Isn't there any job security? No, I think there's actually very little job security. From what I've heard, I mean, I've never worked in in a big game company like this, but from what I've heard, once the game is done, you're out the door. Still contract work. It's the other people who have the only people who have job security in these types of companies are the people who aren't developers. You know what I mean? I could work for Xbox. I'd do finance. I'd never lose my job. You know what I mean? But like, if you're a developer, once the job's done, because it's all like, you know, they build up, they create, like, it's essentially like making a game is an asset. Like, you are building a financial asset for that company, which is the game, the IP, the knowledge, the ability to sell that, right? So Xbox gets, say for example, Halo. I don't think they own that anymore, which is kind of funny, but like, you know, be lucky you get paid before they Phoenix the company. Exactly. So, you know, you've got these groups of people building up these products, but for the company. And once that's done, the company is left with this incredibly valuable asset that they can sell. But the guys that made the game are sort of left idle, and you want to get rid of that like excess as quickly as possible. It's a conversation that happens all the time in business. You don't want to have idle labor costs. So once you release a game, there might be like a bit of a down period where you have to like, you know, figure out what you're going to do next, right? Ola, Alex, and Vin, American economy would be like money print to go brr. Yeah, for real. So like, you have this point in time where you finish your game, and there's an idle point, right, between the next one that you're going to make, where you might only need like a select few individuals to like ideate and create like ideas, but you don't need that whole team. So you're going to get rid of anyone that's not integral to the project and move on. Do I like Godot? I love Godot. It's my main engine that I use. All the time, we're establishing a chief operating officer with the end-to-end P&L responsibility. Oh, such fun. Responsibility across content, hardware. It's so rare that my profession and game development cross over like this. And services, Helen Chang will be promoted to this role and will report directly to me. Over nearly 2 decades at Xbox, Helen has helped build some of our most important businesses. This is just fluff. Xbox Live leading to Mojang, Minecraft. No worries, dude. She will bring our businesses together under one operating model, making sure that we clear investment decisions, learn from our success and failures, and hold ourselves accountable from the results. Thank you to Dave, who's retiring after 17 years. I wonder if he got made redundant. Dave has played a defining role in building platforms that millions of players rely on every day. I mean, I hate that word, right? Even there, building platforms that players rely on. Are we making platforms or are we making games? What's going on here? I guess if you're Xbox, you might be making a platform. That's a bit different. Okay, on Every Day, we've been trusted partner through biggest moments in Xbox history. Wish them all the best. These changes are about the biggest future for Xbox, not a smaller one. The next decade of gaming will be larger, more global, and more creative than anything we've seen before. This year, we invest as much in Xbox as we ever have. We'll invest with greater focus. Yeah, but what do they mean by that? We'll invest in greater discipline, greater clarity, and in the service of making Xbox what the world plays and creates. I want Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than 1 billion people each day and give... Okay. So they're going to return to growth in 2027. The amount of times I've heard companies say that. This kind of stuff takes years. You ain't going to turn around in a year. But if it's not turned around in a year, I guess someone's going to lose their job. Probably this lady. I mean, it's tough. The focus of game platforms these days has shifted so much from what it used to be, where people are trying to create, you know, all these online games that stick around forever. Like, you know, so many games these days have existed for so long, where back in the day, that wasn't really a thing, right? You had like 5 years of like in Xbox One, you had 5 years of that. And then when they made the new one, it was time to move on, and they didn't like bring the games over to the next platform. But now we've got things, you know, that stick around forever. You've got Minecraft on every single platform since it's been released. You've got, like, I'm pretty sure, was Minecraft on Xbox 360? I think it was. And it's probably on the latest Xbox. But they steal all the important stuff and move to a new company, and avoiding stuff, labor and costs, and the debt they owe. Exactly. And so, yeah, it's so crazy to see the industry change like that. And I think it does need to return to its roots, where it doesn't focus so much on creating these massive hits that stick around forever. Like, not every game can be Counter-Strike. And they really need to stop trying to make every game like that because it's super annoying. Spend your money elsewhere. Please. Anyway, that's that. Let's focus back in on audio. So I worked out, just in case anyone was wondering, last time we were trying to work out why the particles weren't bouncing. Turns out that the y-axis was just round the wrong way. So that's all fixed. I just need to work on the look of that and also like understand the physics of it, because it seems like to make them spin takes a lot of torque. Excuse me. But today, I sort of wanted to focus in on the sound, because I feel like I haven't really given that much thought. And when I've got this new sort of like track that I want to work with, I want to make sure that the sound is working correctly. I'm 20 years old right now. Seeing the current job market in any field is so depressing. Layoffs at an all-time high. I mean, it's all about money, and because and that's the heart of the large company. That's all they have. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I mean, I say this all the time. Like, I feel like I started working for a company and I was like the last graduate that I ever saw. You know what I mean? They hired me in 2013. I haven't seen a new graduate since then. Well, I don't know what I moved. Ooh, I gotta charge my phone. I guess it depends on your industry, right? Like if you're in software development, you have to like have projects outside of your own work to show that it exists. Kind of impossible for me, but that's okay. I've got like a really good resume now when it comes to finance, so it's not that hard for me to find work. But yeah, I mean, I would say like it always, I don't know if it's always felt that way, but even for me in 2012, like post financial crisis, it kind of felt impossible. And I feel like nothing has ever really gotten better. You know, it's just been downhill since then. Okay, but we're looking at this stream. So basically right now how things work is, I'm pretty sure in the facility, like in the level manager, when we have an encounter start, we just send it a clip index. Like on encounter starter, game state, switch clip just gets the clip that you're sending in and switches to it. Like it's very basic. There's no audio manager, and I think I need to make one. So, Mbin doesn't understand build foundational works in times like this. So like, I don't know, I guess it depends on what you do, but like you should create your own. I mean, back in the day, it would be like make Facebook or make like something, make something and see what you can do with it. Basically, just do your own work and hope that it becomes something. I think that's what he means. Like I'm making this game, you know? If I lost my job, perhaps I could leverage this, you know? To like something that could turn into like a profitable business. Okay, so we've got we just switched clips. So it's very basic at the moment. And I think since Godot 4.5, there's been a lot of advances in the way that we can manage audio. So I think it's time we did that. It's because companies are buying everything and producing nothing, shipping jobs overseas. Yeah, pretty much. I see it all the time. Companies just buy other companies. They never create anything new. They just expand their own holdings until there's only one left. And it's them. And then they complain constantly. Oh, we're not growing anymore. We have to, you know, then you see the redundancies. So you see something like Xbox, they've expanded for years. That's one of the ways a lot of companies collapse. I guess Microsoft's big enough to avoid that, but like so many companies collapse. I don't know so much about it in America, but like in Australia, you had, what was it? It was oh man, how can I forget the name? There was a childcare company that bought up tons of childcare companies, and that's all they would do. And then eventually, they bought too much and it wasn't profitable and you collapse. It's all over for you. So that kind of like massive expansion stage that companies go into is very dangerous. You have to be careful. Yeah, I would say that if you're making games and you can't find a job, make one of your own. Yeah. So I reckon when we're in this, so say an encounter, right? An encounter is an object here. It has like a bunch of stuff. So we could give it probably a type of stream. So how the game state works is it's got a stream player. Now stream players can be different kinds of streams. We've got a stream player interactive. So theoretically we can actually add a clip to this and play it, or we could replace a clip. So we can say that like clip number 1 is Gauntlet. We can put anything in here. It doesn't have to be just a stream. This can actually be another stream interactive. So Quote-emitter, welcome to the stream. Quo-emitter. Long-term projects. Show me you the person to hire in the shortlist 9 to 5 roles. Yeah. So basically you prove yourself. Growling Octopus, welcome, welcome. So this can be anything. So I could have, rather than having tracks here, I can actually pass in something else, you know what I mean? And have that work in a particular kind of way, if that makes sense. So I can have like facility. So we can have like main background music, perhaps we can call that. I don't think these are like referenced anywhere in code, but I'm about to find out. So we can say clip 0 is background music. And then the Gauntlet is this. Now, I don't know if we want it to be an interactive. Perhaps we want this to be a mixer. Audio stream synchronized might be better, but I think we're going to break a lot of stuff when we do that. Like I said, it's just one function, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Long-term projects. No, I think he means the opposite. Be like, yeah, check this out. I'm working on like a Dark Souls like. Anyway, so I reckon maybe a playlist or a synchronized. I'm gonna open up a new, because we might need to even create a new object within the game state for this, rather than just having it be a single node. So we just make this a node and add a audio stream player. And we'll just add a playlist. I want to look what that looks like. So playlist can have multiple streams. It's the same thing. So these can have like, you can have an interactive here and you could have like multiple clips, and then you can change that and it's element 0. In this economy, my life is like Dark Souls. Yeah, it's a bit like that. Stream paused, max polyphony, and I guess there's probably a function somewhere that allows you to change these and fade between them, and it's you naturally looping them. Okay, but it's more like you have a shuffle function, so I guess when they finish, they might move to the next one. I might have to check the script, search help, audio stream playlist, probably. There it is there. A stream that includes substreams and plays them back like a playlist. Yeah, that might not be what I'm looking for. An audio stream that can play back substreams in sequence. Streams can be added to the playlist, set stream list, and then shuffled with shuffle. So probably not what I'm looking for. Let's have a look at some of the other ones. Hello, fellow Godot cultists. Welcome. Welcome. We're looking at audio streams today. So audio stream interactive. Is that what I had on the game state? That isn't interactive. I know those work. You can switch between them really easily. So that might be the play. Where'd my help go? I need to close some of these. It's kind of crazy. Godot conference in Boston soon? Yeah. I don't know if GWiz is still in the chat. He's going. I won't be there because I don't live anywhere close by. A project, is that a web device? Ready for something? Godot Fest? Okay, so Godot conference in Boston and then Godot Fest in November? Is that in Europe? I could potentially go to the one in Europe. If it is. Munich. It's in Germany. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Boston's a little bit more difficult for me to get to. And I have no like reason to go to America. And I don't even know if I'd get in. Because I'm pretty spicy online. So this might be more viable because I have family in Europe, so it makes sense for me to go there. 3rd and 4th of November. We were kind of hoping to go for Christmas, but that's like a little bit too early. America is crazy right now. Yeah. I wouldn't be going there unless I had a reason to. But this, sorry, I'm looking at another screen. You guys are just like, don't even get to see. Things will likely cool down after the orange clown is gone. Yeah, you say that, but ooh, it's expensive. I guess it's a tax deduction. So what do we get if we have VIP? Exclusive VIP dinner, custom VIP shirt, access to all talks, meet to match access, delicious food, unlimited drinks. If I become a speaker, do I get to get VIP access? I'll do work. Can be a stepping stone to bigger overseas junkets. I don't think this would be to like show off my game. This would be more to like network with other Godot creatives, right? Call for proposals, submit a proposal. What are we looking for? Speaker support. Educators to make access. I don't know. I don't really have a lot to contribute. I feel like I feel like I know a lot. I've made a lot of videos, but like I'm not. The people who do this kind of stuff are on a level above me. But either way, it's an option. Expensive ass t-shirt and dinner. Yeah, it's so that you can meet like Juan and people like that who like are involved with the engine and get to know them. So you're basically buying influence. Same as always with these things. Okay, so we decided that audio playlist wasn't really sensible, but we've got one other that I wanted to look at. So synchronize was the other one, but I don't really think that's like, I think interactive is the one I want to use. Game dev is all about personal drive. We always look for juniors who can run on their own. Yeah, you have to be the kind of person that just wants to do this because that's what they want to do. Nobody is above me. This stream can be fitted with sub streams, which we played in sync. I mean, this might be it. Like if you're almost going to die, you could change the way that the music goes, but we can put a synchronize within a interactive. So I think interactive is the right thing to be on the game state, but then instead of having it like, instead of having it just be like, this track is for the facility, this track is for your gauntlet, this track is for your boss. We can actually add things to the stream and then play them. So we can add a clip, or we could just have like a set number of clips. So it's going to be background music, and this one's going to be like, you know, Battle 1, or like, I'm trying to think like what you would call it. Probably like learning from the docs. Yeah. I mean, how else do you learn? Once you reach a certain point, that's literally all you have. Documentation and the odd like blog post. Someone that I really like to watch is Kebble? I don't know. Kebble. GWiz is pretty good for that kind of stuff as well. People like that who it looks too complex for you. So let's go and call this one. I guess we could call it Gauntlet, or we could call it, yeah, I guess Gauntlet is okay because we know that they're going to be featured. I had it already spelt out there. But this one also, I want to change this to B underground. Like, let's just lowercase these so that they're a little bit easier to reference in code. Background music. Or we could just call it BG music. We don't need the whole word. So this is for your background music. This is your gauntlet. And this might be your boss or anything else. once again, we can always add stuff to this and they can be anything. The thing is, how do you control so if you made like a thing, you're live on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Yes, sir. Restream is what I use. So then if we have like an export node here and we call it music. Yeah, I guess we could just call it the music, and it's an audio stream no, not an audio stream. Even a synchronizer might be like the play. And then that shows here, and then you can create a synchronizer and you can add streams, right? So you could have multiple streams. I mean, it might even make more sense for it to be a playlist. A playlist with synchronizers? Because the playlist will just play through each one. Because, like I said, I do want to have like an intro clip and then it go into a looped audio stream playlist. The question is, can we make it do that with relative ease? I think we're probably going to need to create a dedicated controller. Are you going to create a minimap for your game? Yeah, we already have, but it's a bit broken at the moment, so I can't show you. Audio stream playback. Export type must built-in audio stream playlist, I think I'm looking for. Okay. So then we loop. If true, the playlist will loop. Otherwise, the playlist will end when the last stream is finished. So I guess the question is, like, you can just put whatever here, right? So this one, it won't loop, but then you put like an audio stream, and this will be like your intro track, right? And then you'll have like the next thing, which you can make a playlist or even a synchronized. And then it will loop. Will it loop? I guess that's the question. Hang on a second. Let's just export some clips. Where's Reaper gone? Bring Reaper back. The one thing I wanted to do with this clip is just make the bass higher in the stream. Where'd I go? Home. Home. So this bit here as the intro, right? That's probably too loud. I can't hear it because, right, that's just like your lead-in clip that plays when you're about to fight, and then we'll just jump to here and we'll just export this bit. Oh, sorry, no, jump to here. And we'll skip this bit here in the middle that sort of builds up to it because it's like, the music's, there's too much music now. I need it to be shorter. So, we'll skip that bit. Or we'll have it. I don't know. We'll play around, basically. So let's just grab that bit and just normalize these two. That's too loud. That's way too loud for that one. You want to target, basically what you want to do, also this is really low in the mix, I just realized. You want to target -6 dB if you've ever like done a lot of music or sound. You really want to be hitting that sort of around between -12 and -6. Nothing over. You don't want to get too close to 0. You want to leave some space. So I think that was fine, right? That one's peaking, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's actually lower. Okay, so if we render this, and it's called Spring Into Action, that's the name of the track. We'll just call this like the lead in. When you crossfade to the next, yes, I think that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Well, actually, I just want it to play next and just not play this again when we loop the track, essentially. So we've got Vorbis, intro, music facility, lead in. So yes, we'll just render that as one file. So I'm doing time selection. So here you can read this, that it's -8.5, so that's a good peak. Is it hot in Australia? Yeah, it's winter, but in my office, I've got the temperature gauge here. It is 23 degrees. There you go. Oh man, my shoulder. Sorry, I injured it. It's back to front. We can fix that. I think I can fix that. No, I can't fix that. I don't know, not easily. It's 24 degrees in the office. And I'm sweating a little bit. I'm wearing shorts. But it is winter. Depends where you are in the country. Australia is very big. And so where I live in Queensland is sort of like closer to the top. It's not like if you're in Queensland, you could be at the top of the country. But where I am, it's a big state. Where I am in Queensland, I'm sort of like maybe a little bit higher up. It's 40 degrees here. Damn, that's crazy. But you got to remember, it's winter for me. 24 degrees. I guess I'm in the office. Outside, it's 16 degrees. So that is like kind of cold, I guess. And so we've got this second bit that we do want to loop, right? So we rented that out. Looping. Render one file. Oh, see, now we've got some peaking. That's a big problem. Plus 2.7, you don't want that. So now we'll just have to do some mixing on that. Now, it's not clear to me exactly what tracks, since I did play around with it. That one there. Probably. Honestly, doesn't sound too bad to me. I'll just pause the music so I can figure this out. Are the big spiders really common, and how often have you been jump scared? Okay, so spiders are pretty big, and yes, I have been jump scared. So like there's a particular kind of spider that's really common where I live. It's just called a huntsman. It's not venomous. It's not dangerous in any way, but they're essentially house spiders. You'll find them all over. Not a big deal, but I could slap a limiter. I don't like using it. You're better off like figuring out what's causing the peak and bringing it down the mix. It's going to sound better. But yeah, so like, yeah, I've had a huntsman crawl on me in the middle of the night and been like jumped out of bed. You know, it happens. I think it's probably just a combination of the two. I think we need to bring down the chords. When mobile started, I had to export mono wave to 22 kilohertz. OGG was not around for a few years. Speakers were so small and space was tight. Yeah, that sucks. And then maybe, this is already so low in the mix. What have we got? Then I guess bass is driving it because it's 0 dB. So let's just take that out. Let's look at the FX for this, and we can put on the master track, we can put a, we don't want to actually do anything with this, but there is a tool called REX comp, which will tell us sort of like, we'll get a better detail on our things. So let's render that out again. And overwrite files. Yep. Okay. We're all good. So max peak is negative 1.7. A bit higher than I would like, but we'll roll with that for the time being. I'll just save that and go down. Okay. So the goal is basically to get that lead in little bit. It's very short, right? So I'm going to create a new folder here. For the facility, and we'll call this one Spring Into Action. Probably lowercase, eh? You would legit scream. I'm pretty sure I did, to be honest, when the spider was on me. I remember I had to turn on the light. It was like, 11 p.m. I'd only just gotten to sleep, and because I think if I was fully asleep, I might not notice, right? But Like I just got to sleep and I had to turn on the light and we had to pull the bed apart to try and find the spider. Because like I'm not going to go back to sleep if I think there's a spider in my bed. You know, you're not going to be able to sleep. And so we had to pull apart the entire bed, take off all the sheets and shake them out and then like lift up the mattress. And eventually we found him. And he was hiding underneath sort of bit. And like we eventually got him out. I don't know what happened to him. It was a long time ago. My wife is from Japan. I teased a tiny hand-sized Huntsy to show her temperament, and as predicted, she jumped on he jumped on my shirt. Yeah, good times. They are fearless little monsters. They do like to jump. They will just crawl up you, no problems. Please add music volume adjuster. The music is good but too loud. I can turn it down on my end, but yes, it's very hard to balance these things. Take some off that. You won't really hear it like that again because it'll be lower here anyway. Okay, so spring into action. Yeah, it's very hard to manage that kind of audio levels on stream. Spring into action, lead in and looping, right? So we've got the two and then I guess we've got the full one. It's very crunchy. Yeah, that's just Reaper being Reaper because I'm on stream. No kangaroos. I mean, I've come across plenty of kangaroos, but I've never actually like had an altercation with one. It's pretty common if you live in the country to hit one. If you hit it with your car gets wrecked. Depending on the size, they can get very big. So that's the lead in. So we put that there. And then we've got the looping section, right? Like that's the part we want to loop. So I don't really know how this is supposed to work. We could probably test. They're not that long. Let me just add an audio stream player. This is all part of the learning process because I don't really understand the playlist. So I have to poke at it to figure it out. So we do the loop. That goes down here and then the lead in goes here. Now let's just reduce the sound a little bit and then hit play. I think this is a bit too busy. I just want to see what happens when this ends. I'm assuming it's going to go back to this. That's what you would expect. I just want to figure out how I can prevent that, basically. Maybe it won't. Maybe that's okay. Honestly, not that bad, eh? Maybe. But I am trying to achieve something a little bit more specific. But yeah, I think that could honestly work as like a lead in then into like the bigger track. But yeah, my idea was to have something at the start, maybe something like more impactful. I am biased to Sid chiptunes. Yeah, I mean, with the aesthetic of the game, I think it makes a lot of sense to stick to chiptune. My dog is snoring so loudly. I don't think it's audible because I have like the... What synth did I use? I used... Hang on. Okay, so I used a combination. There's this one called Sora Boy, which I really like. I only just discovered it over the weekend. So it does a bunch of different things. You can choose between noise, wave, and pulse. And you can basically get it to do like a lot of different things. Like this one, I think, is the kick, right? It's just a noise. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just... That one's also picking up. But then the snare, it's actually the same exact VST, but it's just set up differently. You know what I mean? And then the same with the melody. It's also the same, but it's set up as a wave. I'm pressing a keyboard, by the way. I've got a little Novation mini key that I use to like sort of vibe out. I'm not particularly good at piano, but like, you know, it's good to like sort of scratch an idea out on the piano and then see what you can come up with. So like, then I've got this other one, which is called Magical 8-Bit. Now this one I like a lot because you can play chords with it, which is like, it's a little bit like crunchy like they explained, but so, which is not like technically possible on a lot of 8-bit machines. You couldn't do that, but you know, it does give a little bit of flexibility and changing the way it sounds. Like you get this this chord progression, which I quite like. I need both historical evidence. Oh, right, they're talking about John stuff. So yeah, I think that's like a nice, that's like I'm bending the rules of chiptune, but you know, we'll roll with it. Now, the one thing I was thinking is that potentially this sequence is a bit too busy, but I can always take stuff out of this. Like maybe just like take this. But yeah, we'll work on that. I want to expand this anyway. But yeah, so this works just fine. But what I was really trying to get to is like a section that plays on loop and a section that is an intro. So I would say that this technically needs to be another playlist. And this playlist is looping and this one's not. And then we add a stream to this, which is the looping section, right? And now in theory, this plays the first bit and then this just loops, right? We'll see. Maybe there's something out of time. Maybe I pulled something out of sequence with this. Now this should loop, basically. Or not. Interesting. Now, is this because this is not imported as a looping track? It looped before. Or maybe that's just not how it works. Like, even though this is a playlist that's set to loop, it's not going to loop within a playlist that's not set to loop, which I was kind of hoping for it to do. Sorry to make you guys listen to this again. Maybe I just need to make it like shorter tracks so I can actually test it a bit faster. Like, just put the loop in both. That's not how this works. Playlist. Add clip. Spring into action. Right. This is interactive. Change it to a playlist. God damn. Add stream. That. Yeah, it doesn't loop. Oh, I also didn't import this as a loop. Import, just test it out. Yeah, it doesn't do that. Okay. Interesting. So then you would technically need a manager to manage that, I would assume. Bye-bye, Chaff. See you later, dude. I think that would be what I would need, right? Like, because you can't stack this, which is kind of a bummer. I was kind of hoping you could do this with a playlist. What if we add multiples into this? What happens then? Nah, it doesn't loop no matter what you do. Okay. Well, that's a bummer. What other options do we have? We have interactive, which is like just multiple clips. It's not really going to help us. Auto advance enabled and then return to hold. Maybe you could do that. You could just go enabled. Next clip 0. Spring into action. Spring into action. And so this just goes to the next clip. It'll just loop. Right, but what if we did it with this? And this auto advance is disabled, but it is a looping track. Sometimes it's easy to have a pair of channels in the score. Yeah, I mean, that's the other option. Like, I just need to create an audio manager, but like, I'm kind of hoping that I can mix some of these like newer tools to create something more simple. Okay, so that just loops if it's set to loop. So what if we re-import this as, well, that one's the looping one, so we want to go loop enabled, re-import. Edit transitions. Oh, yeah, right, okay. Because this is like spring into action transition from at the clip end to clip start, automatic, fade beat, filler clip. Oh yeah, okay. Hold previous enabled. Use transition enabled. Okay, clip end, transition to clip start, fade mode automatic, disabled, we just want a fast cut. Fade beats, yeah, well, we're set it to 0, filter clip, hold previous enabled. Okay, so from to any clip. Oh, right, we still have to say where to go, right? Okay, and then we can tell it to go into this one, which is spring into action looping. Right, and then auto advance is disabled on this, and then we go from lead in to this, and we hit play. Okay, so that did that. What happens when this ends? We're still going to need a manager. I think no matter which way I cut it. Yeah, so that's essentially what I'm wanting it to do. So yeah, fair enough. We can create this interactive and we can make it part of the encounter. So you can say, oh, this is an audio stream, but we haven't tested nested ones. So it's like, it's a whole other thing, interactive. And we can save this, basically save as, we'll go to assets, audio, music, facility, spring into action, audio stream. We'll just call this one the spring into action transition, spring into action, lowercase, spring, I can't spell, spring into action, interactive. Right, so we save that so that we can delete this and then add it as an object that's held within the encounter. So when you're designing an encounter, you're gonna create an interactive here, and we're gonna just drop that there, right? So now we've got it all set up. Now what you want to happen is when this encounter begins, to pass that off to an audio manager in order to do something with it. And then this is where things get like a little bit tricky, because there's a lot you can do. I think no matter which way we're going to do it, we need to have an audio manager. That's just something we're going to need to create and have it communicate when to play a new track, when to add something, when to replace something. We want to eventually get into synchronizers as well. So like if this fight is not going well, perhaps we can change the tone of the music to be more frantic. Perhaps we can change the tone of the music when you are winning or when you're about to win to be more like amplified and hopeful. And there's tons of different layers that you could add to this. to like enhance the way that the music feels. You see it very often in games like this. So, you know, and also like transition out of, okay, so you won the encounter, so play something at the very end to sort of tail it off and make it feel like kind of complete, right? Rather than just hard cutting back to the old track or crossfading back, which would be probably what I'm about to do because, you know, it is what it is. So let's just add a node here. We'll just call it, it's probably just going to be called Audio Manager, right? And we'll add a stream player. So we could add a background. We could just add background stream and we could just attach anything we want to that. We could have a stream player with an interactive like we had before. Like the way that I've had this set up basically is like, let's get the main stream player. And this was set up with interactive. It could be even a synchronize, right? And you can add a stream. You can add as many as you want. And you can have volume 1 and 2. So you could have like your main background music and then you could bring in like other things depending on how you set things up. You could just add whatever you want. You could make this just be the entire thing, but you sort of have to control it. You need to have a standard. So we'll have to just probably stick with interactive right now because that's the one I'm most familiar with. And we'll just have this be like main. And then we might have like a couple. No, but if we need to transition to something, we just make that. Yeah, I guess we'll see. We're about to find out, right? We'll call this one Gauntlet like we did before. It can evolve over time, I guess, as I learn more about controlling music in games. And then let's just call this one Boss like we did. This is basically the same thing as we had. We can save the audio manager in probably, it's not going to be in assets. It's going to be in scenes. We'll put it in singletons. It's not going to be a singleton. It's going to be a part of another singleton that we load up at the start of the game. But yeah. And then we can just add that. And we'll just add a script to this. We'll inherit node. It'll just be called Audio Manager. We'll create that and we'll just call class name. It's a bit difficult when you've never made something before and then you like have to sort of figure out like how to transition into something. Does that make sense? So we just want to say like play. So there's going to be a couple of different things that we need to do right off the bat, right? If we've got like 3, like we've just got like essentially a couple of different known tracks. Like maybe we have one here, like it's like game over. Something like that, you know. And there will be a stream that we can attach to that, but it won't necessarily be here. So we could just create a function called like add stream, and then it could have like a index, IDX, which is just going to be a reference to whatever stream you're trying to add to, or like change stream. Really change. I don't know if you can pass in a number randomly. Also, like it's silent now. I'm going to bring back the background music. So yeah, we're going to change and then we'll have like an audio stream. Track, I guess. Acoustic temperament starting at 0 increases when he's under specific level or boss appears. That drives your output later. Yeah. So it's like without knowing how the music is designed, it's kind of hard to create a manager. So we'll just create something basic and just evolve from there. I kind of have an idea about what I want, but it's just like you don't necessarily know. So change stream. So we can just say we need to get access to the audio stream. Let's just access his unique name. It's probably fine. So we can say main stream player dot get stream probably. Get stream audio stream playback. Get stream returns the latest audio stream playback of this node, usually the most recently created by play. If no sound is playing, this method fails and returns an empty playback. Okay, so I guess we're going to return that. We can also validate with has stream playback, so we can check that. So we can say if main stream player dot has stream playback, then var audio stream, it's well, let's just decide that it's going to be an audio stream interactive. The classic mistake is trying to use one stream for everything. If you have a door, you have door experience, so you skipped over that. I mean, yeah, the one thing is like, I do acknowledge the fact that you can have multiple streams here. Like you can have one, I have them sort of split up. At least the way that it works right now is like things have their separate players, basically. Like there's a player attached to the jump that just plays the jump sound, and they're all tracked out to like the different buffers, default buses. But yeah, this also needs to be changed now that I say that, to be music. And I think these all route, at least if I remember correctly, these all route to game music rather than master, so that yeah, so they go game sound gains. So game sound controls everything. It's like your default, and you can just leave master alone and have it be separate from that. I don't know if that's worth it, but yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. In my head, that seems right. But yeah, you can't have one stream for everything, because then if you need to play something in sequence, then how do you do that? But I am trying to use one stream for all the clips, because I know that you can get free transition stuff for that. But we'll see. At least for different kinds of music, because we're talking about like background music. So this is like, I've called this the mainstream player, but this is more like the background music player, because that's what I'm trying to deal with right now. So this is more like the BG stream player, right? Now that we think about it. That's really what we're working on here. But stream interactive. It's an audio stream. Interactive is equal to BG stream. Can assign value of audio stream playback to variable. Okay, so I always forget how this goes together. Go to the game state. I've dealt with this already. So audio stream, BG stream, get stream playback. Wait, I'm literally doing that. And then stream.switch to clip. Which basically we want to do here. We're going to take this out of the game state, because the game state just does way too much right now, and we're trying to reduce that. It should just be handling the game state, whether or not you're alive, dead, or transitioning a level. Not playing music. So we're going to remove that from this. Start background music. So let's just take these. I'm going to copy for now. What did I call this thing? Audio manager. Oh, look, I even called it the same object. So audio stream interactive, get stream playback, but for some reason this is not happy. Audio stream playback interactive, not audio stream interactive. There we go. That's our mistake. Okay, so once we've got that, then we can go stream interactive dot has, probably it doesn't have anything. Clip, switch to clip, blind, get current clip index, is class, get current clip index. No, we just want to add, can we add a clip? Oh, we can't do it. We can't actually add a clip. Okay, so scratch that then. That's not even possible. Wait, I thought that would be. I must have been reading the wrong thing. Get current clip. Switch to clip. Switch to clip by name. Huh. A playback component of audio stream interactive. How do I get this? I want this. So I can add a clip, I can add a transition. So I don't want to get that, right? So audio stream. Okay, so audio. So we want to get audio. What we actually want to get access to was that other thing, but we're just calling the wrong function. Audio stream interactive, not get stream playback. We probably want to go get stream, right? No, okay. What do we do here? Audio stream player. I just opened up a tutorial, although it might be worth reading. Autoplay, max polyphony, float, pitch scale, stream. Dot stream? Get stream is a function. I don't know why it didn't autofill. Okay, and now it's happy, right? And now it's an audio stream, so I can say add or clip count, get clip count, clip auto advance, clip name, clip auto advance, clip name, clip stream, initial clip, get transition filter. So maybe we can't actually add clips to this, which is fine. It just means we have to change our approach to how things work. Like we might just pass like each level. I mean, we'd have to break it up to be like, not necessarily being like each level, but like each area. Say you have like, right now we're working on something called the facility, which is like where you enter in, right? And it's going to have a set of clips, and maybe the level or like the area holds this information that is like, what's the background music? What's the ambient music? What's the gauntlet music that's going to be used here? Although I would like the gauntlet music to be like decided by the actual encounter. What's the encounter music? What's this boss music? The boss music should be independent from like just something that I've set up anywhere else. I should be able to feed that to something. And maybe it's going to need to be a separate stream player. I don't know. So add transition, get clip audio advance, clip name. As transition, is transition, set clip name. Wait, so you can't, can you audio streams? Combining clips and transition tables. Clips must be added first and then the transition rules via add transition. Additionally, this stream exports property parameters. No, okay, so that's what you would do, right? Like you would add get clip. Use an array of slots and dynamically get them or fiddle with the file names. Yeah, that's going to be maybe something I have to do. Set clip name, set clip stream. That is what we can do here. Set clip stream. So, I mean, the way that I was thinking about doing this is like you have like some that you would expect. I would like to be able to add something, but yeah, we can set the clip index and then we add the audio stream. So we can add anything we want to this as long as the clip exists. And then maybe like it's always going to be like get next clip. Like we can find out the count and then add one at the end. So that we never really need to like keep them in an actual array. We can just use this as essentially like it's an array itself. Like it's an array of clips at the end of the day. Is transitioning to previous holding. Is using a filler clip. Because there's those two. Get transition for time. I think the clip count, set clip count, so we can actually add amount of clips contained in this interactive player. I guess like we should play around with that, but we'll leave that for another time. But we can actually just set whatever we want here. Set stream. We want to BG player dot set stream. That's not really what we want to call here. We want to go stream interactive dot set clip stream, right? And then we go index this, and then we go track, right? Oh, it's wrong. I can't read, right? So then that way we can always probably set whatever we want for these transitions. Say that we have like a set fixed number. if we walk into an encounter and we want the encounter sound, we should also change what that's called in this. Because I'm calling it gauntlet here, we should just call it encounter because that's what the object is called. So when you have an encounter, you can just say, hey, this is the stream that I want you to play, send it to this, and then after that's been done, switch to that clip, right? And you pass that index. Something like that. And that would be how it works, basically. Freshly squeezed bug juice. No. Game dev juice. It's the sweat of my brow. Or something like that. Okay. What is this song? I like it. I've heard it before. The Frostlands. Oh, it's Octopath Traveler? You know, I don't. Maybe I just listen to it a lot on this stream. Okay. Music by Game Chops, by the way. Also, NA, welcome, welcome. Art music. At work? Nice. On Smoko? I don't know if you guys have that there. Works on my box. So we change stream, switch clip, start background music. Okay. PG's Smoko? You don't know that term? That's like a classic Australian slang. It basically is just short for taking a break. But like, because people used to take a smoking break. Oh, you understand that? Works on my box. You don't understand bone circuit. Okay. So yeah, oh yeah, it's a unique one. You smoke a pie and eat a ciggy. But in the you know, the woke new world, we call it taking a 15-minute break because people don't smoke no more. So yeah, I mean, this is basic enough. We just need to set up a signal array. Like we just need to signal to this. So we can create a couple of signals rather than calling game state because I don't like it. I'd rather just use a signal manager, although the signal manager is kind of massive at the moment. But realistically, at the end of the day, it's the easiest way to get to this. We could also just like have, I don't want to call, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. So we'll just create some signals, probably like change, we'll just, right now, I made this because I wanted to make sure that this was something you could do, but like realistically, we probably want to say change stream and play and transition. The function I actually want to do is change stream and transition. Right? And then we actually want to say stream interactive now that we have it dot play clip. Switch to clip. But that's actually for the playback interactive, not the stream interactive. So not only we do that, we actually have to go switch clip. Oh, we can just call that function. Duh. I'm an idiot. Switch clip. And then pass in the same index that we just changed. Right. Okay. So then we switch to that clip. Happy days. So we change stream and transition. Makes sense. And then we need to create a signal in the signal manager so that we can actually call that function from wherever we're doing it. What have you got for me? Oh, treats. That's a lot. We got treats for Angel. Hang on. Look at her. She's like, what have you got for me? I think I have something for you, Angel. Doesn't realize. You want it? She doesn't know. She's got Smoko. Because she's, you know, she's the branch manager. She's in charge of it. You, come on. Sit. I'm making the branch manager. That one's too big. This is too much cheese. Just gonna get fat. I mean, they say that she's got to lose weight, but like I reckon she's fine. You know. Gotta make sure she's in frame. Oh, you almost got. That's enough. I think there's too many cheeses here. Yes. Should get diabetes. Almost. Look at those ears go. It's a good girl. Should be watching me now. Go to sleep. It's all good. Your breaks are between 15. Back to hedge trimming. Nice, dude. Enjoy the sun if there is sun. I think it's quite hot there in Europe at the moment. Still looking at me. Ugh. Later. Loads of sun. There you go. Slip, slop, slap. Don't forget. We want this, and we'll just call it audio. Signal on change. We'll have two. We can have switch clip requested. And then signal on change and switch clip requested. This will do. I don't know if this is better, but and then we can basically connect to the audio manager. Basically here on the ready, we can say this is just the ready, and then a signal manager which starts with an underscore. Haven't used that in a while. On change clip connect to change streams and transition. The name of the function is wrong. Change this to be switch clip so it's similar. Okay. So now we've got a signal. You would still need to know, I guess the other thing as well, like I'm saying, like, yeah, you need to know that the index for encounter is 1. But I guess the other thing, you could also use like, you could use strings, but yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see how this evolves over time. We'll keep it simple for now. As things change, we'll go with it. So here we can go back to the encounter and we can look at what happens when we start an encounter. We can have an on encounter point body entered. If body is player, then we stay. If it is empty, like if the encounter is finished, then it's finished. But here we can now actually start playing our music. So we can actually go to Signal Manager and say, change stream and switch clip. It's like on change and switch clip requested. And we can basically say emit, and then we want to pass in the index of 1, which is going to be probably a bit of a problem. So think of ways that we can solve that so it's not a hard magic number. And then the other thing we want to pass in is our music, right? And we still don't really know, like I haven't tested how the playback is going to work if we make an interactive be a part of that. So it's kind of interesting to see what happens there, but we'll roll with that. So that should just pass off to the audio manager, which will basically say in stream 1, we're going to add that and it'll just set to play, right? So this is going to music. We're going to make this -6 dB. As I said, that's sort of like my target for music. And then, yeah, and same for the background music. If we go to facility, like this is all going to have to work together. Facility entry 01 is fine. We have a look at what actually is happening here. We're actually saying when the encounter starts and ends, we switch clips. Now, we're going to remove these because we don't really want to control that from here. Why should it be controlled from here? And then same with this. I don't even really think there's a reason to have this anymore. Right. But when we do come into the ready on the facility, we probably are going to need to have some kind of way of knowing if the clip that we're trying to transition to is already the one playing. Because I have a feeling that if I do the exact same thing, like signal manager dot whatever it was called, switch clips, on change switch clip requested dot emit, and then we like add an export variable here for like a stream for the background music, export var background music. I guess we're about to find out. Isn't it? It's an audio stream, right? And then we send that off to 0, and then background music, right? Basically, I have a feeling that's going to get called every single time that we enter and exit rooms, and it's going to be very jarring, but we will find out because I'm about to test it. So if I click on this now, we've got background music. Now we want the song into the facility to be sitting here. And I'm assuming it's going to play pretty much just like as soon as we start the game, but we're about to find out. Let's just pause that music. Hit the play button. See if I've... you know what I haven't done? I haven't actually added the audio to the game state. Hello, Oni team. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? We need to add the scene audio manager to this game state so that we actually have it here. And then same, let's just make this really quiet so it doesn't actually get in the way, because I don't know exactly how that's set up to play. Not even really sure, to be honest. So we've got the audio stream player, we've got the animation player, we've got the background stream. What happens if I get rid of that? Yeah, so it's just in the ready function, so we can ditch that. And then new game from menu, ditch that. We're not actually ever calling play, which is interesting. And those two, we can just start background music, switch clip, all that kind of stuff. And then come back up to here. We never actually called this. Hey, thank you so much, Oni team, for the SAR 8. I don't know what that is, but I appreciate it nonetheless. And I guess as a new tradition, when there's a donation, Angel gets some cheese. Because, I don't know, what else is there? I need to like have something happen. Angie. She's going to be getting no sleep. There you go. And now she's like, you got me up just for that little piece of cheese. I know you got some more on the table there. Oh, look, we can like the donation. That's awesome. I didn't even know you could do that. Thank you so much. Okay, so bgstreamplayer.play. We want to go to the audio stream player, and I guess on the ready, we just start playing. So we've already populated this. Oh, this is the wrong one. If we go to the audio manager, so it doesn't do anything. Right, so perhaps when we do change stream and switch to clip, basically what we can do, just joined, welcome, welcome. We're working on our audio manager here. We might be able to say if stream interactive.is playing. No, we don't want stream interactive. We want bgplayer.getStream. Set clip. Yeah, stream interactive. No, we just want to say if bg stream player dot is playing. There's got to be like a variable for this. Playing. If it's true, then we want to switch to clip. But if we haven't done that, we just want to just play. Set probably still switch to clip. Actually, we still want to switch to clip. And then I guess the question I need to ask, right? Okay, we hope our free tool will help developers improve their games when our tool is released. What's your tool, man? I'm completely new here. What type of game are we working on? We are making a Metroidvania, sort of in the sort of version of like it's very much like Mega Man, like early Mega Man NES style, but with Metroidvania type flavors, kind of targeting like Silksong, but obviously it's got the shooting. Game design document creator tool, nice. GDD creator. Have a look. On Steam? I think I saw this on Reddit. Every game. Okay, so you can like create little connections. It's a simple offline workspace. Offline, we love it. For planning and organizing your games, build visual nodes, maps, write notes, and media sketches, ideas, checklists, and structure for your game design. All in one tool. I should check it out. I don't have anything like this, and I probably need to have one. Especially if it's an offline workspace, which just like you just don't see stuff like that anymore. Coming soon. Oh, I'm not signed in. Not on this computer, but I'll have to like keep an eye out for it. Oh yeah, dude. I will definitely be on that. Okay, so we were saying if BG's stream player is playing, wait, we were going to switch to clip and then we're going to bring this back and say that if it's playing, then we just return out, right? Like there's nothing to do here. So I guess we can say if not, then we need to play bg stream player.play. bg stream player. We could probably just call that anyway. I don't know. I'm trying to, the other thing as well, get stream playback. If I'm pretty sure it said before that if there's nothing playing, then this is going to return nothing. Add a feature link to pure ref documents. Ooh. Add a feature to link to pure ref documents. Okay, so this returns nothing if no sounds are playing. So we actually do need to make sure that the stream is playing, but I'm pretty sure if you call play and there's nothing to play, then nothing happens. You know what I mean? So like, we probably need to initial clip main. What? Oh man, this is actually going to be pretty tricky. So like when we think about like when the game starts, like how do we handle that? Because before it was just like automatically playing, which is not exactly what we don't want that, right? We wanted to go like, okay, what happens when we just start the game? Like, there needs to be something to handle that. Maybe it's not this function. Maybe I'm like, trying too hard, but like generally speaking, like you're going to load into a level and the level is going to request the music to be played. And if there's nothing in main, we probably just need to create a different function for that, rather than trying to do it within this function. Or we just have something in main to be playing automatically when the stream starts. That's the other option. Have I got something? I mean, I just really want to test out the transitions and stuff like that. So I just want to get moving with that. I've got tons of music here. I don't want to use any of these because it's going to like mess with stuff, but, oh, well, yeah, but still like, actually, I don't think if I run right now, the facility, I think it would crash, right? Or it's just going to throw an error down the bottom and the music won't play. Yeah, it crashes. BG stream player not declared in the current scope. Loam game from menu. Okay, we don't want to do that anymore. What is this? What is this? BG stream player. What script am I in? Game state. Okay, so we still have BG stream player here somehow, even though I commented it out. Is it anywhere else in the script before I try to keep testing my game? Thank you very much. So annoying. Okay, yeah. Like I suspected, no music plays. And if I look down here, I mean, it's not saying anything, but, and like, if you transition into this, nothing happens, right? And that is because when you call these functions, there needs to be music playing in order for them to work. So we probably either need to have a check, or we create another function to just like initialize player, and we need to like actually start playing something. I'm gonna have to think about how I want this to work. So I want it to work while we're testing, because otherwise what's the point? But we're going to need, because like obviously you could already think about a function that you would call when you start the game to make sure that there's music playing, which would solve this problem. The other thing that we can do is actually just have something in this file, like I said before, so that it's always got something to play into the facility here in main. And then that way, if you hit playing, it's just going to play that track. I'm assuming as well, I wonder if you put it in something else, does it just play? Yeah, it has to be in clip 0. If the game has a fox, I'm all in to play it. The game doesn't necessarily have the fox. The fox is a logo from a game that I made a very long time ago. So here's my itch.io. Right down the bottom here, we've got The Fox and Her Shadow. It's one of the first games that I ever published. It's just a browser-based game, and from that, I created the logo for the channel and everything. But this game is a bit different. I will probably put the fox in as an Easter egg. You know, because that's just fun. Basically, the goal was to keep both. You could only, as the fox that is colored, you could only stand on this. Right, and the other one can only stand on the shadows. So pretty easy levels to start with. And then I added like switches and stuff like that, so you have to like separately get them. So it's just a platforming game. Oh, and yellow was neutral. You could both stand on that, I guess. And then I wanted to make this into a full game, but I never did. And then they could jump on each other, but I'm really bad at this game, so... But I never finished it. Well, I mean, I did finish it. It's for a game jam. What did I come? 1500th? Not that good. I don't know how many people ranked for it. Got a lot of attention, but I think that's just because of the artwork. But people were pretty harsh. They only gave it a 3. I'm using the Mega Man style Mega Man X style? Nice. Wall climbing and third-person action game. Quite storytelling history for the channel's avatar pick. I also see great potential in your works. Keep going. Thank you. Now. Right, so we're just going to say, like, add this here. And then, like, autoplay. So that there's always something playing. And then, theoretically, it should just work. I don't know. We're going to have to poke at this because the documentation for the audio stuff's a bit sparse. It's not happy with me. No sound? Autoplay didn't autoplay? There's no calls play when entering the tree? This sits below... Okay, so like the structure of this is no good because the level hangs out here. This actually needs to sit above the level for it to like actually autoplay before the level exists and causes play. Causes it to fall over. Let's give that a go. Again. Huh. Huh. I make a scene called Soundboard. It's a throwback to those silly flash sound button toys, another gym, but for audio. Oh yeah. Yeah, you could have like effects and stuff sitting in an entire soundboard, I guess. That would be pretty cool. Okay, so the audio manager sits up here, but it doesn't get activated yet. It plays for a second, but then nothing. I'm going to have to really think about this. This is actually pretty interesting. So we've got the on change and clip requested connect. And I'm guessing probably there's some kind of switch over. I'm guessing it stops playing when this gets called. If stream has playback. If you had a team, the audio guy uses the soundboard scene to not mess up the game as they boot up the assets. Oh, that makes sense. Test your sounds here, my friend. Wrong button. I'm guessing that signal is killing it somehow, but we'll see. Okay. So, okay, so now we get to check this. If BG Stream has playback, step into, and it just goes to nothing because it's not actually playing, which is a problem. Yeah, initializing this actually might be like kind of annoying. What we could do, we actually have like a signal or like a state of the game because the game knows when it's being started that way without audio, or like it's being started via the run current scene button. So the other problem with teaming up with someone is the one who made the project is usually the one who invested, I suppose. I guess it depends where you start from, how attached you are to the project. You have to have a different mindset for that other kind of thing. I guess the benefit of that is that if you hire a sound person, you get the sound done work, but you still own the rights to the project. There's that too. Where do we go? Game state. So the game knows when it's in that state, and perhaps then I could. Energy used here requested invalid save profile. No, that's not it. Can we run it again? Run it back. Did I remove the check? I did. Debug create data at game state 158. This is basically the point where I know that I'm not running the game as normal. So perhaps here I can do a little bit of trickery to get the sound player to work properly before everything goes into it. Where I could have a dummy interactive. So basically I just say, I give it like a bunch of stuff to do so that it works properly, essentially. That's my plan right now. Because when we start the game, we should be fine. We can create like a separate function for that, but the facility, like the actual levels themselves, they don't want to ever do that. That would be like kind of annoying. They're going to need to be separate and not really be aware of their ability to be able to play music that much, apart from saying, hey, this is the clip we're on. What monitor do you use? I have a 27-inch 2K IPS 180Hz Xiaomi monitor, but the size of it is somewhat sickening to me and it makes me less productive. A basic 24 1080p 60Hz works better. Yeah, I've got a couple of Philips. They're 24 inches, 75 Hertz for some reason. I just wanted them to be over 60, but that's what I got. They cost like 100 and something bucks. I just wanted them to be the same, so they're identical. I bought them a couple of years ago. They work well. They're not like the best screens, but they do the job. So how would we do this? I guess we create like a basic audio stream. So this one here, we're not using this anymore. Or are we? I think we might be. Create a resource. It's an audio stream interactive, or yeah. Audio stream interactive. And then we'll just call this like the starting interactive, starting audio. So we can create a file that essentially just like has the things that we want. So rather, I mean, we could also have saved the audio manager. If we go back to the audio manager, we could have just saved this. We just have a starting point, right? And just add the clips that we want to have, basically. Not that we can really test transitions with that, but we don't really have anything else, so I'm just going to use that for the boss. And we don't have anything else for the game over, but I'll leave that blank for now. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to set the clip to be playing. So if we go back to the game state, and here we need to get access to the audio manager. So we can do that Probably with an export variable is better. Of our audio manager. Audio manager. And then we can assign that. And then here, what we can do is write down on this line here where we know that we're in a bit of a strange place. We can say audio manager dot play.
I got a little nut off.
Hey, Yoni team, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch as well. I appreciate it. I really gotta fix that stream notification. .bg stream player .play .bg stream player .play. So we set it to be playing there, and everything should be right with the world. And if not, then I don't know. We're about to find out. Okay. The audio is playing. Moment of truth is if we walk into this next room and it does what it's supposed to do. We just get met with silence. So many particles. It's very silent. And then there's nothing to transition back from. Okay. So what went wrong? I'm not getting any kind of errors, which is kind of annoying. It's very hard to see what I'm doing wrong if I'm not getting a problem with this. I have to assume that the reason it's not working is because the index is either wrong or we're getting switch clip, right? Do we need, is it because we don't have any of the transitions set up? Edit transitions. Use transition enabled. Transition immediate to clip start, automatic from main to encounter any clip. Is that what we needed? I guess it might have been. Next clip end, next immediate clip start enabled. Fade beats. We're just gonna go with immediate for everything right now. Immediate clip start to any clip. I should probably have just done this. Like immediate, same position, clip start, automatic, enabled. Anyway, okay. From two. Okay. Is this the reason why it wasn't working? Who knows? Silence. Hello, Sansi30. Okay. Your rules are be cool. I don't even know what they've set up. I really don't give Twitch much attention, but think about it. Being cool is subjective. Just be normal, you know. I don't give Twitch much attention. All the cool people hang out on YouTube. No, I shouldn't say that. I get banned from Twitch. Stay there. Being no Goth Slayer, welcome. Goth Slayer 69. That's a name. That is a name, mate. Okay. Yeah, let's just have a look at this again. See what's going wrong here. It's cool, all right. Okay, so we hit that. Step into. We completely skip over it. And now this is all funky looking. And we hit that again. Did you say YouTube is the cool place to hang out? That perhaps Twitch is not that cool at Twitch. Get wrecked. Watch them come for me. Or with my 300 follower account and 20 cents in revenue. Okay, so now we're actually into it. I subbed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Holy shit, this is a TTS. I don't know if it works.
Holy shit, is this a TTS?
Oh, it is. Yeah, it still works. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so we get to this. Okay. Scream interactive track. So we have a track, stream interactive, right? Okay, so we're going through it. Switch clip. We're going to set the clip to the stream. And then we're going to switch clip to index. Right? And so we go to this. And we get the stream. Okay, good. Switch to clip. Your fox looks like that fox that came out of Dora the Explorer show. I haven't seen it. What show? Well, I mean, I know Dora the Explorer, but I haven't. Oh, Dementia Test. Do I need to take that? What are you trying to say, Itch? Dora the Flora.
I propose that you consider changing the price from 25 channel points to 10 channel points. While I understand this is a tough choice to make, think about the poor people that can't redeem it. Let's work together to make this happen.
25? I mean, it's interesting because like there's a lot of people that have like thousands of points. TTS says hi. I'm trying to look up the fox from Dora the Explorer. Explore. It doesn't work on YouTube. It's a Twitch only feature. Okay. Yeah, that's I don't know how to make that bot work with YouTube. I don't think it's possible. Yeah, I suppose.
I have 300, now 275. If 10 is too low for you, we could do 15 channel potions with a cooldown that applies per person.
I'm pretty sure there is a cooldown. Don't they look like brothers? Maybe. It's a different style, so maybe not. I think, well, I set it up and I was a bit worried that it would be abused, so I made it a little bit more expensive, and I think there is a cooldown. I don't really remember what it is. Do I like surprises? It depends what the surprise is. Okay, yeah, and then it just skips to that. So why did it not? 50 bits minimum? I don't know. Like, yeah, sorry. I'm sorry, dude. I don't know how. I don't really pay much attention to Twitch. I apologize if it's not set up very well. You have 12 bits. Can I change that? I don't even know how. Streaming tools, analytics, community, monetization, bits and cheering. Oh, here we go. There you go. I changed it. Set the number of bits needed to send a cheer in your channel. Here, I'll change it to 1. I don't think Twitch would be happy to know. You already told on me. That's against the rules. I said be cool. But you snitched like straight away. Okay. Maybe it's because it's going into a being cool is subjective. Maybe I thought that letting Twitch is a cool action. Yeah, wrecked. We go back to the encounter and then we just go to here and we just remove this and just put the song in by itself. Spring into action looping. Oh, because I said it is a also get paid. Hey, thank you so much. Cheered ×1. That wasn't too loud either. Sometimes with the announcements they get really loud, but that was really good. I really appreciate it. Oh wait, we have a new tradition as of this stream, and that is the monster gets a treat. What's my type in women? Italian. Angel. Oh, wake her up. Hey. Oh no, you're off camera, girl. You're off camera. Up. She gets too excited. She gets like way too excited and she forgets how to follow instructions. I appreciate it, dude. A treat for the dog. When we get a donation. That's new as of today. She's going to get fat. Or maybe not. Maybe she'll starve. I only feed her with treats from the dono. Could you imagine? Feed my dog. Hey. Nice free course for building a better jump in Godot. Thank you. Oh! I've only got 2 more treats left, just so you know. Oh, I didn't get her in frame. Oh, I apologize. I'm not the best at this. I'm like, I'm going to wipe the cheese off on your head. This one. Yes, yes. Building a better jump in Godot 4. If you go to Udemy, you can watch that for free. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be on frame, I believe you. I mean, she was kind of there. Yep. On Udemy, you can watch the free courses, Building a Better Jump for Godot 4, Godot 3. There's also the paid course on how to make a third-person shooter controller. So you can buy that on Udemy. I think it's about $30. Or you can
June is
join
internationally
the YouTube membership
recognized as
and
Men's
you'll get
Mental
that
Health
as well.
Awareness Month. However, it's not June, it's July. But this makes you think. Is it fair to care about men only on June? Or women only on Women Day? Or schools only on School Day? Or poop only on Poop Day? That day exists. I wish I was kidding.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of those aren't like official days, you know, but like, you know, it's just a marketing tool, is it not? Like, am I crazy? Like a lot of those days, like obviously some of them are like more recognized, but they are just like marketing tools to bring awareness to things. So like for men, it's normally about like mental health and potentially like other kinds of health things that men tend to neglect. And for women, it might be certain other things like just being aware that they exist and you should treat them like humans. But, you know, poop day, it's important. You gotta check your poop, mate. You never know. Okay, so I just want to change this to like audio stream because I just want to get like down to the basics to make sure that this is working and there's not a setup issue with it. Delete this, clear, and then we should just be able to drag a
National Dog Day, also known as International Dog Day, is celebrated annually on August 26th. The day was established in 2004 to celebrate dogs of all breeds and backgrounds while encouraging the adoption of dogs from rescue shelters.
Yeah. See, that's good. I adopted my dog's name is Angel, and we adopted her in 2019. She was 2 years old. And she was scared of men. But, you know, as because I guess she was abused. as time went on, she was able to not be afraid of me. Although, to be honest, I think it was mostly the stature, and I am not a tall person, so she wasn't so scared of me. But she's an angel. Actually, she's kind of, we just call her the monster because she can be a bit of a monster. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I'm not sure who gave her that name, but I'm more into cats. But I also like dogs, not pit bulls. Get that way away from no offense. I don't know if that's an offense. Yeah, she is American Staffy cross Sharpei. But you know, does she have any other nicknames? Oh, so many. What are we calling her? Angie, Smellona, Putzona, whatever. Other nicknames. Chill dogs. She's chill. Yeah, she's chill. Even though she's big and scary. Okay, so why? Okay, yeah, okay. So we change this to basic. Let's just see if this works. And if it doesn't, then there might be something else. Let's get rid of the thing here. And we go here. Okay. Still nothing. Why would the transition not work? I feel like I've set up the transitions wrong. That's got to be the only answer. Let's have a look at this. Edit transitions. Oh, look at that. We do have like a lot of transitions. Next beat. Okay, so from any clip from... Okay. So maybe this is something that I have to look at. Crossfade, fade beats 1, enabled. Okay, yeah, I feel like I've set this up really badly. So let's go back to the audio manager. Edit transition. Immediate to start. From any clip. Enabled. How do I do this? I don't even remember. Oh, is it like a cross thing? To main, to any clip. Is that how I'm supposed to read this? This is supposed to go along here. From main to start. Is that like I need to add it here? Immediate. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I worked it out. So let's just remove all of this. Took me a second to work it out. Okay. Okay. I'm slowing down your game work by 35%. That's okay. The whole point of streaming is to, well, at least for me, is to give me something distracting to listen to talk to about anything like that. Because if I'm not going to be talking with you guys, I'll probably be watching YouTube or potentially anime, whatever it is. Dun, 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 dun. Read the message above. Okay, sorry. I just got a promotional email from an AI company that starts with good artist copy, great artist steal. Okay. That is actually crazy for an AI company to be saying that. Like straight up just steal. Like, you know, fuck the rules. Okay, we have got all the transitions. Still nothing. I have a secret to sell. What phone do you currently own? It's an iPhone SE 2020. I believe. Could be the older one. I'm honestly not too sure. I've had it for such a long time. You own a Pixel 9a? Nice. I hear they're really good. I'm going to go back to Android once this phone is exhausted. It's on its last legs, I'll be honest with you. But like, I don't mind, like, Apple is okay, but personally I prefer the ability to do anything I want with Android. I much prefer that versus like, you know, Apple's closed ecosystem is kind of annoying to me. But like, ultimately, like, if you're just using your phone to like browse Facebook and to like send messages, it's fine. You know, it's a perfect phone for that kind of stuff. Apple Pay is pretty nice. They're really good. 80% of hardware is from the Pro one, and the camera is still great, even though it doesn't have the telephoto lens. Okay, nice. Okay, we still don't know why this transition is not working. Do we need to set up a gym? Auto advance enabled, return to hold. How do we transition here? So it's not Pro. However, the Pixel 10 now has a telephoto lens. I'm sure they've got something else that's like Pro exclusive, right though? Flip one stream. Maybe it's because I'm asking to change it as well. Whoops. Encounter. Clear. What I want to do... They do have more Pro exclusive things. For example, the telephoto lens on the Pro goes up to 100 times. Dude, that's crazy. How do they do 100 times telephoto on a phone? Dude, I'm so out of the loop with phone tech these days. Oh, I didn't even like transition now. Oh, we got an error? Condition states clip, playback is null, is true. So adding the clip is not working. Fun fact about RAW on mobile phones, Android and Apple both go through many image passes up to 35. Yeah, they take a bunch of it and they're like, it's the algorithm, like they use some kind of tech because the camera lenses in that is like not nearly as good as like what I have attached to this, right? But like they somehow produce really good photography, you know? They're just gathering a lot of shitty photos and making them into one good photo, I guess, something like that. So if I get stream, this is, and then set clip stream, maybe
the
this is where
screen on the 9A can do up to 120 Hz. It switches 60 Hz and 120 Hz. But you can lock it to 60 Hz, and I did for battery. But I recently switched to 120 Hz. It feels faster NGL.
Well, twice as fast. The screen updates twice as much. In a single second, I guess? What's a hertz? I used to know. Okay, switch. I feel like this is not working properly. Because then when I say switch to clip, it doesn't actually switch to clip. So when I add this, set clip stream, set clip stream, sets the audio stream associated with the current clip. Well, that should be pretty basic. No, stop. I want to do a breakpoint. I just don't understand how these things work, I guess. And I need it to be variable. It needs to be able to work with a large number of different tracks. It can't just be like the same ones. I guess like at the end of the day, we can break it up like Bone Circuit said into multiple different stream players. If we wanted to, or we could just change the song manually. Like back in the day, you used to do like stuff like that, but like I was kind of hoping for something a little bit more easygoing. But I guess that is, or we could have a stream interactive player with every track that is available in this game, and it sits on the BG stream player, and you just emit a signal, and it just emits a signal for the track name that you want to play, and it'll just play the track and transition to it. It would work. You just end up with like a massive stream player, which would be super annoying. You know what I mean? Like one of these with like 50 tracks on it. YouTube dudes, should I go there or stay on Twitch? You should stay on Twitch. I'm not supposed to encourage you to move. So I already broke terms of service. Yeah, so I guess we can set up a room for that. That makes sense. But would I want to? I mean, I suppose to me it doesn't really make a difference, right? Like the chat is displayed the same. Obviously, there's more people watching on YouTube, but like, you know, I don't know why Twitch hates me so much. Like, it doesn't boost me at all. I never really understood that. I don't really mind. But it is what it is. Okay, we've got scenes, private, gyms, enemy testing room, sweeper room. We got an enemy that I never finished over here. You can just like database tribe politics. Yeah, right. I guess that's true too. Like you could have like a JSON file with all the tracks and you could have a path to them and then pass that in. There's a million different ways you can do this kind of stuff. Audio testing room. Not going to be in the enemy rooms. Okay, so audio testing room, we can delete the enemy. Basically, we can just essentially, I don't have that many tracks in this game, but we can set up like areas. So we can just go area 2D, right? And then put like a collision shape on it. Where is that? I have concluded the UP people don't care. I guess they don't. Grid UI can help here. Grid UI. Oh, it could just be like a 2D thing. You're right. I could just click with my mouse. That's a very valid point. Why would I make it so the player has to walk through these things? Because I guess eventually it's going to be that way, but right now we just want to test switching tracks. So you could just create a UI element to click. A grid container.
Feed the dog.
Feed the dog. Hello. Thank you so much for the bit. Isolated. Angie, you're sleeping. She wakes up, so she's like, no, I'm not. I'm asleep. Buttons each cell, rock and roll. Hell yeah. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. Like, it's actually way simpler that way. I'll stop here because I could go bankrupt on this. Don't spend those 5 cents all at once. Yeah, that's actually a valid point. I don't know how much a bit is worth, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Any support is support. And now, as I said last stream, I will give you a character reference if you ever end up in court. Just reach out to me on Discord. Discord link down below somewhere. And I'll write a character reference for you. I'll be like, this guy donated to me on stream. So that makes him like really dope. Play track. Well, let's just call it facility. Into the facility, it's called. Right? And then you can attach like a little script on this bad boy. We can even make it built in and we could call it play track. And then you could connect the signal to it. Pressed. Connect it to itself. Connect. And have an export. Expand on that. What do you mean you'll write a character reference? It's a joke, obviously, but sometimes if you get in trouble with the law, you can when the sentencing stage comes, you can get someone to write a character reference for you to help reduce your sentence. So, like, say if you got caught for doing financial fraud, and you were going to get sent away for like 10 years, you could get your boss to be like, listen, old mate's a really good dude. He was just like a little bit confused, and he was trying to do the best for the company, but he made a couple of mistakes. And actually, you should like give him a lighter sentence. And then the judge can take that into consideration. It's not legally binding, but it's something you could do. I'm definitely not speaking from experience here. Best role? I don't know where I wrote that. Track to play. It's different all over the world. It's just something that can happen here. It depends on the court. Depends on the case. It's probably not across everything. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a financial accountant. It's a different thing. Okay. And on pressed, we just go audio manager. No, we don't want to go to audio manager. We want to go signal manager dot track clip on change clip switch requested dot emit argument. We just go track 1 and the track to play is track to play, right? Okay, so that's the script that you attach to that. And then you can just go like next, and this one can have a different name and a different thing. So this one is if it's into the facility, then we got to get the audio for that. Asset, audio, music, facility, into the facility, just attach that to this one. And this one will be called Spring Into Action, which is the name of the next track. This is the last one.
Encoding, a character reference, or HTML entity, is an escape sequence used to display special characters and symbols without breaking the web page's code. For example, a web browser might confuse the less than symbol, less than with an HTML tag. To display it correctly on screen, developers use character references.
Interesting. There you go. So I was almost like talking about coding stuff when I meant to be talking about legal stuff. Spring into action, and then we got another track. We got other stuff in the external folder, sounds, music. I don't know if this is going to be really loud, so I'm going to turn down Godot. Oh yeah, this is the one that I was using. Placeholder. Legally? Yeah, I mean, yeah. A formal written statement submitted to a court by someone who knows the defendant personally, used to attest that the defendant's integrity, habits, and general reputation. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about. I can't see the UI. It's not on a... Oh, that's right, because it's... I don't even know if I can click that. I need to put it in the canvas layer. It's pretty funny. Okay. States clipbacks playback is null. Okay, interesting. The other thing that I wanted to say is that this script should have like an export variable for the index. Index. as an INT. Wait a second. So if I let 12 of my closest friends write a character, does it mean there's a higher chance? Yes. Depends what you did. Depends if your friends still respect you afterwards. I'm not a lawyer. How about 28? I don't know if it stacks. I think it's more, you need a more important person. Like you need like a CEO. Right, so we still get the error that the switch to clip playback is null, is true, which means that it's still like if you go into remote and you go to BG Stream Player and you look at Stream Interactive, it's still empty. So that stream doesn't work. And this one went quiet, I think because I was targeting 2, which does have a track, but obviously nothing. So it's kind of interesting. Maybe we're just gonna have to change the approach. Like this is just not working. Even though I thought it would. Like that's what I thought set clip stream did, but I guess it doesn't. Now we get an error here. Playback is null is true. It doesn't exactly say what's causing the error. What line? I'm assuming switch to clip index. Clip index. This here. This here is the part that causes the issue because the playback is null. It's empty. Which I'm assuming that says here. Switch to clip. Get current clip index, returns the index of the current playing clip. You can use this to get the name of the current playing clip. Example, get the clip, switch to clip by index, doesn't really say. Audio stream interactive. This is an audio stream that can play playback music interactive by combining clips and a transition table. Clips must be added first and then transition rules via add transition. Additionally, this stream exports a property parameter to control the playback via audio stream player. The way that this is used is by filling a number of clips, then configuring the transition table. From there, the clips are selected for playback and the music will smoothly go from there. I think, we'll go from there while, go from the current one to the new one, but the corresponding transition rules defined in the transition table. You can add, but they have code. Is it just not something you can do in game? I just don't understand because it doesn't say. And it doesn't seem to be like set clip stream, right? Set whether a clip, no, set clip, set the audio stream associated with the current clip. Like why doesn't that work? You know what I mean? It seems to be very silently erroring out, you know? Okay, so we got some chats. No, submitting 12 character reference was this is like Google AI. Not increase your chances of better outcome, and it can actually hurt your case. Judges have very busy dockets, and forcing them to read 12 repetitive letters will frustrate them and dilute your strongest points. It suggests, as you said, 3 to 4 character references for more important and valuable people are less likely to be biased. Yeah, you get your like, if you have connections, you know. Like you get the CEO of some company that you work for or whatever. I don't know. Or whatever.
CEO of Elon Musk.
Get the CEO of Elon Musk. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that is where I'm sort of leading to this, and it's time. Like you can't spend too much time on these things. If it doesn't work, you just need to move on. Guess what time it is? It's time for me to get ready for bed. It's 9:15. I'm a sleepy boy. Wrong. Oh, it's Angel treat time. It's funny. She can't hear this, but if I did have that audible, she would 100% start to like perk up when she heard it. It's sleepy time. I just want to persist a little bit longer. But yeah, it's very close to stream ending. I'm back and you're still not done? No way. I barely made any progress, actually. We got very distracted. But it's okay. It's kind of the fun of it. I still probably make more progress on stream than I do off stream. Because the latest season of Jujutsu Kaisen was really good. And so I was watching that more than I was working. Stream switch. Okay, so like, yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know why this doesn't work. Stream, set clip stream, index track. Switch to clip. And then it's empty. I will not let that happen. 10 bits, which I will buy right now for you to not end stream. No, it doesn't work like that, CNC, so don't do that. I won't just keep going. I have to sleep because I have a real life job and stuff like that. It's just not. No. Like, you cannot get me to go longer than 9:30. I have a hard out. Print some assertion outputs. Yeah. So you've seen it finally, but you don't remember me spoiling it. You probably did. I have a real job. Yes, I have a real job. Split in. Nothing you can do will make. I'll end stream right now to make you stop. I remember we were talking about it. Can I make one last offer? I'm ending right now. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I really appreciate it. We should probably have some music for this. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the stream if you somehow haven't. If you're still sitting here in the chat and you haven't liked or subscribed, and I mean that on YouTube, I mean, if you've got a Prime, I appreciate that as well. Either way, in 12 installments. I'm not extending the stream. Stay safe, guys. I'll be back on the weekend, probably Saturday morning, back to the regular schedule. I don't know. I like the evening streams. I don't mind them. It's a good test. Yeah, maybe Saturday morning and then Sunday evening. That could work. Either way, guys, thanks for hanging out. Have a great day. This is why I never saw you. I don't stream like every day. It's night when you stream. Yeah, I normally stream in the mornings at 5 a.m. because that's when I wake up. Actually, it was 6, but either way. Time zones, yes. But yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by. And I will see you Saturday morning. Or earlier. I don't know. We'll see.